Welcome everyone to Campaigns Concoctions, where we are a bunch of triumphant travelers who like to. Yes, we are triumphant, and I will tell you why in a minute. Thank you so much for joining us on this adventure of cooperative yeah, thank you for joining us in this adventure of cooperative storytelling and crafting cocktails. So we are triumphant because we were at a con.
Yay!
And it went really, really well. And I want to thank so many people. Like, there are so many people that I would love to thank. You guys probably saw the video that came out recently, the episode. But I wanted to say, a thank you to Mesa County Comic Con or Mesa County Libraries for hosting the Mesa County Comic Con. You guys did a great job. Things like this always end up having problems. I didn't notice any. You guys were great. You guys were really awesome. So thank you, Mesa County Libraries.
It was.
Well done.
Very good.
Also, go support your local libraries, please. Second, I want to thank these guys here.
Oh, everybody not on camera.
Yeah. Everybody on camera.
Everybody here. I'm pointing. I don't know which side it flips flops from time to time. But thank you to for John, Nate, and Curtis, and the disembodied skull that is Dustin. He did his distance thing where he was back there and here. It was weird, but thank you guys for coming out, making the trip over the mountains. You guys really made this the thing it is. People loved you. It was great. Thank you to the less corporeal being of Dustin, Matt, and Jared for being supportive. They had their life going on. Otherwise, they probably would have been here if they could have. So thank you so much. But most of all, I want to thank you in the screen, if you can see it. You guys came out in force, and it was really awesome. I had some students come out, some of my fellow faculty members. We had people who said, hey, I know you guys. I saw you on Spotify, or I saw you on YouTube. So because you guys listen, because y'all do take the time to engage with us in the Discord, people have found us, people have engaged. We have a ton of new members in the Discord. So thank you so much for making this a thing. We're going to be back next year. We are looking for stuff on the Front Range for those of you who couldn't make it over. So right now we're looking to really kind of staying Colorado focused, but we are doing these things now, guys. So, and that's all because of you. That's all because of the engagement that we've had. You guys came out and bought coasters and bought booklets, and we now have other business opportunities that are being in the works. So like, we're really excited. So we want to say thank you guys. Have any other special thank you?
Big shout out to the mercenaries from Smart Local 9 that hung out with us while we were at the convention as well.
Mm-hmm.
It was super cool meeting you guys and getting to hang out. And I'm still impressed with that Mandalorian armor. It was so fucking cool.
The magnetic parts.
Yeah, so fucking cool. Thanks for drinking with me at brunch before I had to drive home. Yeah. It was really nice to hang out one last day before I headed home.
Yeah. Specifically Azrael, man. You're dope, dude. We really appreciate you, homie.
Yeah.
I think drinking at brunch before a 5-hour drive is very on brand for the podcast.
Yeah, right? I drink a bottle of Prosecco in like 45 minutes before I got in the car. I drank so much Red Bull. So much Red Bull. I stopped 4 times to pee.
I am very surprised that the Grand Valley has any booze left.
Yeah, right? It's from work.
Or duck.
Yeah, or duck. Yeah.
The French place. I'm surprised we didn't get out. But Bistro 317, because they hosted us 2 nights.
Yeah. John at Bistro 317. Absolutely.
Yeah. And Dakota.
And Dakota, yes.
Oh my gosh. Dakota was parents
of French still on his honeymoon?
I think so, yeah.
Let's hope.
If my timing's right, he's still gone because he got married. So,
well,
congrats and thank you for your delicious food and wine recommendation.
He did say the next time we're in France to talk to him and we would hang out.
And he also he also legit he hosts like travel and food and wine retreats for like 8 to 14 days. You can just go with Jean, who knows more about wine than you'll ever. More about wine and about French food, and he's going to take you to 3 different countries to drink and eat. And that sounds
up
fantastic.
To 8 people, so we'd have to break the pot into 2 groups to do it. But anyways, we'll figure it out.
Awesome. Again, but thank you, Grand Junction. Thank you, Mesa County. It was great. Wonderful. And then Curtis actually has another person to thank.
Yeah, my boy Devin. He came to work this week, and he brought me this fantastic bottle. I don't know how to pronounce this. I'm going to let John give it a shot because he wanted to do it last time.
Oh, it's Vegetal de la Grande Chartreuse.
And this
Obviously.
stuff is...
Australian
It's not just chartreuse.
It's Vegemite.
Oh, that's fair. It's not just chartreuse. It's like 69% alcohol. It's lovely stuff. We're going to try and drink it out of a tiny little sippy cup. We'll have a little bit tonight. And I just wanted to say thank you for the lovely gift. Really appreciate you. And we're going to enjoy the hell out of it. Out of the cap,
It's also the closest to the original manuscript chartreuse recipe as still exists today.
All right.
So the original manuscript recipe, which is 450-ish years old, which is supposed to be something that extends your life, and it's an elixir of life given to the Carthusian monks by the Archangel Gabriel, I want to say, something like that.
So you say it's supposed to extend life.
Yes,
which
this will
orifice
make us
am I
live
supposed
longer.
to pour it into?
What's that?
Which orifice do I pour it
everyone
into? I'm thinking pee hole.
Yeah, I
This-
mean,
Okay.
The order of monks that you
Let's
almost
move
said
on to the drinks.
Cthulhu.
Yeah.
They were supposed to be
Yeah.
with Gabriel.
weird
not
how
a very
that
old
works,
one?
right? Yeah.
Thank you for the history lesson.
Thank you, Devin.
But I also want to say thank you to Devin for being a super active participant in the Discord. You're awesome, dude. We really appreciate it. It's awesome. Thank you. So with that being said, do we have anything before we roll on the drinks? Anyone else?
Drinks.
All right, we got drinks. What are we drinking?
I'll go first.
Okay.
I'm going to call it the Dirty Date.
Nice.
So it is 1 ounce illegal mezcal, 3/4 ounce pineapple juice, half an ounce of OFTD rum, half an ounce of the Ancho Reyes chili liqueur, half an ounce of date syrup diluted, which it's
Dilaudid.
Dilaudid.
2 to 1 of date syrup to water. I just wanted to thin it out a little bit.
This is correct. Always thin your date syrup like you would your honey syrups.
And then a dropper of tiki bitters. You shake it, and then I poured it over a large rock because I just kind of wanted to lengthen the drink a bit. But it's slightly spicy, but really tasty. It's really good. I'm not a fan of mezcal, and I will probably make another one of these tonight.
So I made a drink, calling it Why Is It Always You 3? Rest in peace, Maggie Smith.
Yeah.
So 3 rum cocktail. See what I did there?
Oh, yeah.
So it was an ounce of Batavia Ararat, half an ounce of OFTD, half an ounce of the Balmer Peak Overproof rum, an ounce of Montenegro, an ounce of pineapple juice, and then I don't know how much we put in, but Nate spiced it up with some grapefruit bitters he made. And it is quite
Purchased.
Oh, he
Those were a purchase thing. He has a 12. He has like a bandolier of bitters.
Well, okay, so I see Nate with a bandolier of bitters. I just assume
He
could
could
made
have
all of them
made
because
it.
Nate's sort of a witch.
Valid.
To be fair, it was my brother who was the actual magician.
Correct. So, I assume
It was grapefruit bitters, by the way.
Yes, grapefruit.
the Batavia Ararat is Ron because of the red rice.
Okay, yeah, let's go with that.
Okay.
There we go.
There we go.
There we go.
And I just wanted to say thank you to everybody that we met at the con for telling us, hey, I don't really drink cocktails, or I don't really drink anymore, but I really like the idea of craft cocktails. I really was wondering, hey, do you guys do mocktails? Well, guess what, you motherfuckers that we love? Yes,
We do.
That was a little loud. We do mocktails. Would you like to tell us about our mocktail of the week?
I'm going to call this, let's pause.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
It's like 2 ounces pineapple juice, 3/4 ounce lime juice, 2 ounces of pandan tea, and like little over a third grenadine, shaken with cubes and dirty dumped, and then I garnished with dried pandan leaves. It's very tasty.
It's very tasty.
It's pretty yum.
Yeah, I think that was probably the most consistent question we had, because we had a lot of people who were under 21, a lot of people who were sober, and it's just not something we had thought about. And so thank you so much for that input. And I think we really took it to heart, and it really stuck with us. So these are for you, y'all, and we're going to hopefully do these more often, hopefully once an episode at least. So thank you. There you go. Also, because I forgot to say it, if you want to engage with us in a more interactive way, please click the links down below, point, and that's where you will find pictures of these cocktails and mocktails. And this is where also you can engage with us personally. You can find the Instagram, the Discord, all those things. So thank you so much. Do we have any more drinks?
What is it?
All right. So the last time that we met, there were some images that we're seeing. The ramifications of which had great impact on Sark, which led to some violent meditation down in the citrus grove of the ship. The last thing that Sark had experienced before he went into the coffee table that is the box that he woke up from was him protecting a family that he was with, and a shadow coming over as the city fell. There were discussions about what that meant, what the shadow meant. There were explorations of the new limbs that that Sark had, and then there was the ship began to return back to Haven, a place you haven't been in a very long time. But there was also a conversation had with oh man, why am I'm drawing a blank on my main character, Richter's daughter, Madam's Richter, Prosper and Richter. Wow, my brain has been fried.
It's got to be Prospering, right?
Yeah, so it's Prospering. So at this point, the ship has begun the docking procedures of returning to Haven. I need SOA and Patrice to make insight checks from you. No, perception checks, actually.
Perceptioning. 10.
23.
So, Patrice, you're a little bit distracted by coming home, but you do, something feels slightly different, and you both kind of feel this warmth as you arrive. But SOA, not only do you feel this warmth and the happiness, which you could easily ascribe to just being home again, you feel an added protective sense, like something has drawn you now to this place and this space. Maybe Levinar has reached out, or maybe he is becoming more active, or maybe some of the things that you guys have seen and done has brought maybe the planes in closer alignment. You're not 100% sure, but you almost feel his presence, and you almost see like the gossamer threads of a spider's web as it seems to be connecting into just different things that it's not real. It's very ephemeral as you look, but yeah, that's what you feel. As the ship continues and finishes the docking procedure, as you look off to the right, L, you see where the dilapidated building was that you had purchased and paid to have refurbished, completely rebuilt. What you see now is an artificer's wet dream. Just picture the most steampunk workshop that you could ever find.
It's like a viscous lubricant dream. Like an artificer doesn't want his stuff to be wet necessarily, right?
Yeah, but well lubricated.
Well lubricated, right? Yeah. It's a well lubricated dream. Yes.
So what you're seeing reminds you of the manufacturing regions of Tinkermere, your home. Some of the places that you ran around growing up, you see water wheels and you see sprockets and gears turning on the outside. You see smoke gently wisping from a smokestack, but it's not a stone smokestack. It is an actual industrial smokestack. It seems that whoever you had hired to refurbish this building must have outsourced to the brilliant gnomes and Duergar of Tinkermere to come up here and refurbish the space. You also see the rest of you are probably less enthralled by it, but what you're seeing is a fairly robust set of activities on the docks and down that main drag split between the inlet and the shops. It seems like there are more people here than ever. And as you disembark and make your way down from the floating dock down to the main entrance, what do the six of you do?
I think Patrice is going to get his. Are we docked already?
Yeah, you guys are now down. You guys have walked down the gangplank down because here, if you remember in Haven, the flying ships can float dock at above and water ships, but because you guys were coming from flying, you guys are docked at one of the higher docks.
Do we have any pressing business just this minute, guys?
Ella's probably already leaving.
Okay.
For the workshop.
Sid, is there anything we need to be focusing on right this minute?
There's nothing.
How high is the floating dock?
I don't know, dude. I didn't even think.
You know why.
45 feet?
Oh, it's higher than that. It's high enough that the bottom of your ship has clearance above a full 3-masted sailing ship, clipper ship.
75, 80 feet.
Yeah, I was saying like closer to 90. That's fine.
Yeah.
I can still jog halfway down and jump and still catch out. That's fine.
Yeah.
Sark's staying to listen to the conversation, and he will eventually catch L by means of rapid descent.
An RMD. I got one little errand to run. Where should I meet you guys? What do you think?
The tobacco shop.
That sounds like a great idea. I'll meet you at Edwards. All right.
Remember the name. Thank you.
I'll see you all soon.
God, I have a pub to hang out at, don't I?
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember the name.
I think so.
Yeah, there's the Broken Boxer, which is where people go to fight, and then there's also, there's like a plank or something above it.
The Driftwood?
Driftwood.
Fancy place.
Yeah, that's the fancy place. Yep.
And then there was like the mid-level one as well.
That's the one that you hang out.
The what?
That was the one that you hang out at. That's
Yeah.
what
Yeah, that's. I just can't remember the name of it.
I can't either. And my book is my first book.
That was it.
So.
The badge in the bottle?
Yes.
Badge in the bottom.
Badge in the bottle. Yeah.
There's also like Dandy Bills or something.
Yeah.
No, Dandy Bill's the guy we're chasing.
Yeah, it's a guy I'm trying
Yeah, it's
to
the guy we're trying to murder. Not a place we're gonna go drink. Unless
I mean,
I
have you met us? It very much sounds like it'll probably be both.
Probably.
I mean, considering that it's been 18 months in real time since we've been to Haven.
Yeah, it's been a little bit. I'm going to the Badge and Bottle with you.
Mr. Nancy's.
Mr.
That was the one that I was
Nancy's,
thinking
that's
of.
Right.
Mr.
Yeah,
Nancy,
probably-
super dive.
Yeah, that's the super. I'd probably start. I'd probably like Badge and Bottle to start.
Yeah.
it's the closest one to the dock, if I remember.
Mhm.
I also think that's true.
There's Edwards, Broken Boxer, Cart and Crate,
I mean-
Fiery Thief, Badge and Bottle,
From-
Mr. Nancy, and Driftwood.
Fuck
From-
yeah,
from-
Haven.
From what
Fuck
I've
yeah.
seen, none of you are out of tobacco, so why go to the tobacco shop? I'm gonna go drink.
I'll go with you to drink.
Patrice
It's
is
not
gonna.
early enough in the day for bacon, egg, and cheese and coffee at Edwards.
Right, we're too late.
All right.
It's not early enough. What time of day is it?
It's midday.
Okay.
I'm more of a breakfast
Circle
brunch
listened long
spot,
enough to
you
realize
know.
that he's just
Gotta
going to have
shut
to
it
go
down
bar
at
hopping
11.
to find everyone, and then jog down halfway, and then just drop and try and time it to land next to L as he comes off the bottom of the dock. And then he's just going to follow L to the warehouse.
Patrice is going to make his way over towards Harbor House.
Okay. So
Just walk the road with the hole in it.
the road has been fixed.
Cool.
You guys
How
have
long
been
has it been in game time since we were here?
a while.
Couple months.
A couple of months.
Travel time.
I think so it's
Tinkermere and back plus some side trips.
We didn't travel by map.
Right.
So your travel from Haven to Tinkermere and back is a month.
Okay.
And then you guys also had that travel to Wudan, which was like I think a full week. And then you did your shit and then more shit and then back. So probably been at minimum 2 months, if not 3.
We also lost 2 weeks while we were killing Delilah.
That's right.
So it's been
4 months.
Yeah, so it's probably been
a quarter of a year
at least.
So the year in Librarth is 8 months long.
So half a year.
Yeah, so we've been gone for half a year. Yeah.
This is what Absinthe wishes.
The better. I mean, we were the better part of a year at this point, right? Like more like 5-6 months even. I don't know.
I would say that you guys have been together about 6 months. You guys were in Tinkermere probably for almost a month alone, right?
We're pushing 6 months then. We're almost a year gone.
Yeah, you guys been around for a year, or almost a year at this point since the first time you wandered down that hole and found the shit.
Last word with that.
Before it's delayed.
So, okay, Patrice. So this is the order that we're going to do. So I'm going to do Patrice, Ellen Sark, and then the other 3 of you. That's how we're going to roll.
Sounds good.
Patrice,
All right.
As you walk down the harbor and you make that turn, go ahead and make a perception check for me, please.
Not good. 8.
What's your passive?
Oh, it is probably low. It's probably like 11.
What's your wisdom modifier?
1.
Are you proficient in perception?
No.
It's 11.
11. That's still higher though. So you're slightly overwhelmed by the amount of people. Like Haven's never been quiet, right? But it has also never been this busy, right? You're seeing a fairly large amount of tieflings and Ismar, which has never really been fairly common here. And as you look to your left, as you're walking across the inlet on the kind of like the ruins of the city that is there where the elves hang out, you're seeing more and more of them than you've ever seen before. They seem to be coming out of the water and spending time above the surface now. You slowly make your way through the crowd. You cross over where the giant hole was. It is, you can see the newly patched up area. But you also notice as you're walking by that there is a guard. It seems that Harbor House has hired somebody to protect an entranceway down into the newly discovered areas. And then you finally make your way up the path to the skull that is Harbor House. What are you doing?
Patrice is going to cast. He's been thinking about this for a while. He's never been to the top of the Harbor House skull before. So he's going to polymorph himself into a giant eagle. And he's going to fly around. And it's going to have streaks of pink and purple on the wings with white tips. And then he's going to fly around probably about 3 times clockwise. He's going to peer in through the glass that is the eye sockets of Hubert's office just to see if he's hanging out there, see if he notices. And then if he doesn't notice, he's going to fly up to the top and perch on top.
Make a perception check with your eagle eyes. What do your eagle eyes see?
I think that's dumb. Isn't that the advantage with eagles?
Oh, yeah, I think if you're an eagle, yeah.
But it's not. But it's not high. Okay, so I think it's like. I think that's going to be about a 17.
Well, a giant eagle or a regular eagle? Giant eagle. You have advantage on wisdom, perception check, state the line sight. You have a +2. No, +4 to your perception roll.
17.
Wow. Curtis did that without looking at the book. And that's
So
where
as you begin to make those clockwise
Exactly right. That's why he's the weed guy.
clockwise rising circles, you swing around and you look into the glass eye socket that is Hubert's office, and you do see him.
What's Hubert doing?
He seems to be writing in a ledger.
Excellent. Does he notice Patrice?
No.
He takes that in stride and flies up to the top, chills out on top for a bit, and he's going to revert back to his normal form. And he's just going to I think he's going to lay down on his back on the very crest of the skull and just kind of take it in, get quiet, and he's going to listen, see if anything happens.
As you lay at the top of the skull that is now Harbor House, you can hear kind of the susurration that wafts over you of the somewhat distant sounds of the harbor, the city. It's non-distinct because it's distant enough that all you hear is the sound. It is both new and familiar. Familiar in the sense that it is home, so it just feels right. But it's new in the fact that it is the loudest sound, or the loudest this city has ever been. You feel the warmth of the skull, of the bone, radiating through the back of your clothing as it has been sitting in the sun for the last 13 hours. Not 13, 6. Half a day. I was thinking half a day and math went wrong. And you just feel like you are home. As my upstairs neighbors decided that they wanted to stand things on the floor.
Patrice is going to sit there for a while, and he's going to think about the things that he's seen, and he's going to think about the things that he's tried, the beverages, the food. He's going to think about the obstacles that he's overcome, and then he's going to think mostly about the people that he's met along the way, and about what's becoming, literally and figuratively, his crew, out of the guys that he's been, and gals he's been hanging out with. So he just feels really content and grateful that he knows that he ain't perfect, and they sure as fuck aren't, and that's cool. And when he gets done thinking about that, he's going to pull out his bone flute. And he's going to play it somewhat softly, hoping that Hubert could just barely hear it and go like, "The fuck? Is that?" And he's going to play something soft and slow and hopeful, but still sad because it's a fucking bone flute.
Go ahead and roll a performance check for me, please.
I'm gonna use a sorcery point on that one. Nope. No. That was much better. Yeah. Let's see. Performance is good. That's going to be a dirty 20.
So you begin to play, and your confidence begins to rise as you play. You never, because the bone flute was something that was gifted to you after you left Haven. So you've never actually played here in Haven. So there's a level of uncertainty and nervousness as you begin to play, and you slowly begin to build more confidence. And it starts off to the point where even you have a hard time hearing it, and then you finally find your space and your place and your timing and your breath control and all of those things, and you begin to hear it. To feel confident in you play. And then all of a sudden, as you continue to play, and it doesn't really stop you, but you hear something slide open, and it sounds like the opening of a window. You don't hear anything else. But you continue to play, and then you hear it shut.
I don't know if that was on mic, but I snickered. Patrice feels really good. He's really happy with himself. Very pleased. And he's gonna hop off the back of the skull and do his best Running Man impression as he floats down with Featherfall.
Of course he is. All right. So next up, Elle, as you're making your way, right as you're making the right-hand turn down the dock towards the building, you sense someone and that familiar presence of Sark coming up next to you, and he falls in stride next to you. As the two of you walk towards the building, do you do anything?
Probably not. If it's just Sark, he's not gonna say anything.
Okay. Elle, when you contracted out these people, did you have any design specifications that you were looking for? Or would you just make a dope-ass lab?
That, and I probably would have told them to put in at least a few hiding spots.
Okay.
Like secret stashes, smaller spaces, stuff like that.
What languages do you speak?
Gnomish and Common.
Okay. All right. As the two of you come up to the front door, you see that there's a very intricate set of gears and wheels that have been inserted into the door, as well as it looks like it goes into the wall. I am not gonna give you this because I am math dumb, but you find attached to the door a letter, and it is the contractors that have said, "Thank you so much for contracting us. We hope that this building meets to your standards. To open the door, you're going to need to input the number that is the solution to this equation, which, as an artificer, you have some knowledge in this kind of stuff." And then it said underneath that, the places that you have requested for us to manufacture will have the numbers from these equations, and they give you 3 equations in that they will be carved into the locations that you will be able to find. So what I need you to do is I'm going to need you to roll. I had my DM screen on Wednesday. Where is it? Oh, it's over there. Ugh. Off and on screen real quick. I'm going to need you to roll something. Do we have a math skill? We don't.
I mean, it's straight intelligence.
I think so. I need you to roll. You're going to roll 4 intelligence checks for me.
That is... Wow, that is shit. 15, 16, 15, and 7.
Well, because this was done way back when you guys were like level 3, the DCs are going to be fairly low. So you have the solution to the door and the first 2 hidey spots. The fourth one you don't have at this moment, but you're not really worried right now because you're just kind of excited to see the space. So you input the number into it looks like a modern day keypad, except for the keys itself are like the old school typewriter keys, and it's the numpad, but there's no 0. So the answer does not include 0. So, but it's just the 9, and you input it, and then you hear and then you watch as all of the gears and the wheels begin turning, and then as it unlocks, the door slowly slides open to your left, and as you walk in, you see that this is everything that you wanted and more. You have on the left-hand side everything that could be possibly used to create and maintain your Warforged friend. And then on the right-hand side, you have everything that you could possibly need for chemical and alchemical experiments. And in the middle is a large, like live edge wooden table that is absolutely gorgeous, lacquered, and it is kind of left open, but inscribed in the on the top, and the before that has been covered with the lacquer, is kind of a design that is reminiscent of the deep gnomes of the Undercity of Tinkermere, and it's this kind of mechanical artwork that is almost reminiscent of like if you were to see in the modern like electrical diagrams, that's kind of what it looks like. And then off to the back, very tightly, are 3 individual doors, and as you open each door, they are just empty rooms that could be used for storage rooms, for bedrooms, for offices, but they're not very big. Go ahead and make a quick perception check for me, L.
Sark's just walking around, but I'm going to say this in case he fails anything. I have a passive of 19 for Sark.
Yeah, that's a whole 6.
So unless L told you the answers to those equations, Sark, you wouldn't know what you were looking for.
Okay.
He probably would have, I don't know if he would have said what they were for, but he probably would have said the answers out loud as he was figuring them out.
Okay, with a 19, you see those first 2 numbers. So the first one was as he was entering, and then he said the second 2. Sark, you do notice them. The second one is actually in the table. You notice that number. What do you do when you notice that number?
He'd probably wait just long enough for L to start getting frustrated and not finding anything. Go, hey, there's a weird number here, and then tap it and continue walking around the stuff.
As you tap the number, you hear a click, and then the table, just so you get an idea, is probably about this thick. So what is that about? Probably about 8 to 10 inches thick. A 3-foot wide section of the table comes out. And there's hidey spot number 2. The first one is on that left side, which would be the north side of the building. There's in that Warforged mechanical recovery space in the corner of the building. It's very well built in, but there's a little section there that has the first number on it.
After seeing that the second number opens something, you'd go tap on that one too.
That one also opens up it opens up, and L, as you see it, what it looks like is you're looking into a bag of holding.
In that case, with the one that's open on the table, he's just going to walk over and dump the pitons that he has in his bag into the spot, just because it's a secret hiding place. You put things in it. and then close it.
Okay.
And then walk over to the other one and he's gonna probably just pull out like one of the candles that he has and see if it actually functions like a bag of holding.
Mm-hmm. So as you light the candle and you push it through, it works just like it. As you push it through, you can't see your hand, like you're essentially going into a pocket dimension. And it's fairly large. It's large enough for it that at least you know, Elle, that you could probably fit in this.
Do you convey that? Or can I understand that it works the same way as the bag of holding?
Oh yeah, Elle is almost definitely giggling about it out loud.
But yeah. As soon as he figures it out, Sark stashes 25,000 platinum in that hole.
Okay.
That's funny as hell. That's so accurate too. Oh, this is where this goes.
Yeah. Watching.
It's our safety net.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, after Sark puts actual money in the hiding place, I was just gonna go, oh, and then pull out another 16,000 platinum and put them in. And now his bag of holding is not almost completely overweight.
I love that you guys have that much money. I forget how much money I give.
I still have 121,000 platinum on me. I'm just like, that's my safety net.
I'm never not giving players money. Like I did that like in the very first campaign I did at the other table, and it was a disaster. I'm never doing that fucking again. Everyone's getting fucking all the money. If we can't have money in real life, god damn it, our fantasy characters are gonna have it.
That's right.
Truth.
All right. Also, directly above this hidey hole is a writing desk. One of those that have the instant connections. As long as you know the like the sender's name to another writing desk. So it's kind of like a. I think we've talked about those before.
Yeah. We have. They're in all the offices of the Nine Brothers. Sark will see it and write a note saying we need to have a permanent presence in the City of Culture. And he'll send it to who their current direct report is. So not the manager himself, but their like his maitre d' or whatnot.
Yep. One other thing that you would notice, Sark. So on the south side of the building, the right side, as you were coming in, on that side with the alchemical experiments, in the far corner, there is also that you don't know how they had it because they haven't been gone. You guys haven't been gone for a year, but there is a teleportation circle there. I don't think anyone has that spell, but it's there.
Could have that spell. No, that was a different spell.
A lot of people could have that spell.
Right.
Wait.
I like to have teleportation circles, man. I hate travel. I fucking hate it as a DM.
And yet you gave us a boat.
Right.
Yeah, because that speeds up travel.
I agree. I agree.
We also were initially planning on just being pirates for this campaign.
We really were.
We have done like so little piracy. I'm very disappointed in us collectively as a group of players.
I did not anticipate the six of you getting so caught up in this technology thing. It was just supposed to be a throwaway beginning thing. So,
but it was well done.
It was well done. You have the one character who comes from that time.
We have a technology in our group. It just seemed right.
Yes. Awesome. So
piracy was so successful, we didn't feel the need to do it again.
Right. Because we were pretty much set for life after one attempt at piracy.
Yeah.
So Sark and Elle, is there anything else that you guys would like to do inside the new, whatever you guys want to call this space?
It's just going to be the warehouse.
Yeah.
I will button everything up and make sure nothing points to those two places. I have no idea about the third one because he didn't mention one out loud. I just heard him swearing in multiple languages again. I'm like, okay. Yeah. He will then probably go out to scramble on the roof just to see what it looks like up there, and then drop back down and be ready to go.
So unlike the rest of Haven, which is kind of a wow, that was loud. Unlike the rest of Haven, which is kind of a tropical, like imagine like tropical buildings with the thatched roof that is gabled. This is more of a flat roof. More this building has essentially been torn down and rebuilt in the style of Tinkerman. So for both of you, it's very familiar. And there's up on top, there's enough space for you guys to set up kind of like either an observation post or just a place to hang or something like that. So, yeah.
What do they call those chairs where you sit way back in them?
Adirondack chairs.
That's it. That's what we need. I'm not there yet. I can't say that in game, but some Adirondack chairs would really make this nice.
Also, the fact that I know what an Adirondack chair is continues to show how we've aged and appreciate these things.
Yeah, we were chilling in an Adirondack chair like a week ago, or 2 weeks ago.
Pretty common thing in Colorado, I feel like.
Yeah. So right there, though, I think that if nothing else, that we're going to take our first break.
Yay!
Probably only our only break. We're still working on the time things, family. So please stick with us and be patient. We're working out the formatted stuff as we keep going. As we get better at this, so stick with us. But stick tuned. We'll be right back with more adventures in Haven.
Drinks. Wee.
Welcome back, everyone, to Campaigns and Concoctions, where we're late. We're late.
But you don't know that because this just immediately happens.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah.
It happens. So, all right, what are we drinking, y'all?
It'll be a
Right.
on we're doing
Drinks.
cocktail hour.
Who's going first?
I'll go first. This is the six-winged dragonfly, because the star anise I put in here looks like a six-winged dragonfly. And it's oh my god, 1.5 ounces of pandan shrub, the quick version that Curtis made. It's 2 ounces coconut rum, 1/2 ounce lemon, 1/2 ounce orange. I think that's it. And shook and dumped. Oh, 2 star anise threw in there when I shook it, and then dirty dumped, and
It's real nice.
then topped with
It's
soda
real
water.
nice.
Sorry, that was a little crazy.
Oh,
Brain.
that's so much better than my drink.
Okay.
Next.
Mine's real simple. It's a Matt's Mezcal mixture number 3.
There you go.
I rolled a 3 on a D100. That's how I'm naming my drinks.
I like it.
So, 2 ounces Bonnet, Benez, Mezcal. I think it's just the
Joven.
The oven, yeah.
If it's clear, it's Joven.
Yeah, the oven. 1 ounce Aperol, 1 ounce liquor 43. Shake the shit out of it. Pour it into a coupe. Pour it over rocks. You can dirty dump it. It's delicious.
It's great however you serve it.
Yeah, right.
It's an absolutely fucking banger 3-part cocktail.
I fucking hate both of you. Those are so delicious.
All right, next.
Go for it.
This is called a Pirate's Dozen because there's a dozen fucking things in here.
This is why it took him 45 minutes to make it.
No, it's because I was helping out my boys.
Yeah, you were.
So, and it is not quite there yet. It needs more things. I think it needs to be a Pirate's Baker's Dozen.
There you go. So I made a drink. This drink is called, you know when a vampire bites you and then it wants to turn you into a vampire, so you have to drink its blood? Like that, but the vampire is actually a beholder. Also known as Mr. Manager.
You did make Mr. Manager. Give me that shit.
And this,
we
this
broke
cocktail-
Morgan. We broke Morgan.
So this
I don't want to refuse because that name is way too fucking long.
It's so good. It's so good.
Alternate title.
Alternate title is Mr. Manager.
Alternate title
It's just
is
Mr.
J. Harry
Manager.
Eyeball.
No, it's just Mr. Manager.
Alternate title is just manager.
Yeah, it's just Manager.
This was so far to walk for an Arrested Development
Right?
joke.
Exactly.
That's 20 fucking years old. I love us.
It was good. It was good. So that's going to be a half ounce of Batavia, a half ounce of Mount Hez, a half ounce of Balmer Peak Overproof,
Yum.
about an ounce of dragon fruit nectar that I got at Costco. It comes in a double pack. It's delicious. You will get like major sugar rushes from drinking that shit, but it's delicious. And then there's a half ounce of my Rambutan syrup, which I made with Rambutans, as you can see from the garnish. And then it's also got a quarter ounce Liquor 43 and a quarter ounce Aperol, 2 dashes Peychaud's bitters, and 5 drops of saline. That's the drink.
All right.
You want me to repeat the name? I can.
No. Because this is the last word.
Oh, there we go.
Oh,
there we go.
He
Drink, motherfucker, drink, motherfucker, drink. That was a nat 20.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That was a nat 20.
Man.
So this actually is the last word. It is a classic cocktail from 1915. It is an equal parts drink, 3/4 ounce of. I use Roku gin because why not? Because the most expensive thing is next, which is thanks to one of the greatest humans ever, Curtis. This also got 3/4 ounce of green chartreuse, 3/4 of an ounce of maraschino liqueur, and 3/4 of an ounce of wine. I shake it till I can't hold the shaker tin anymore, and then I strain it into a delicious coupe.
Hell yes. Also, the last word is like the like intellectual ancestor to like most of the cocktails that people like with gin, vodka, and whiskey.
Mm-hmm. The paper plane, the flower, the last ward, all that shit.
Yeah.
So awesome. Whew, man, that is so fucking good.
I mean, Ryan Reynolds named an entire gin line after one of those cocktails.
So all right, y'all. So,
cheers.
So we did level up last session. This is why we have macaroons. Yeah. Well, Jared, someone now gets to suffer with me. Jared. So Dustin, you had something that you were doing while Sark was up on the roof.
Yeah.
Look, macaroons take precedent.
Fair.
I don't make the rules.
He's gonna write a quick note in the new book. Yeah. And it's gonna take a minute as he's writing and go over and look at the teleportation circle.
Okay.
So you can grab the keys from that and include those in the message that he's sending.
Okay. And then you will send me that message later.
Yep.
Yes. Okay. All right. So we didn't get to it before the break. We're going to get to it now. We're going to talk about the 3 of you guys who go to the badge and bottle.
Cool.
The 3 of you walk. It is it's crowded, more crowded than any of you have ever seen before. And you go into the badge and bottle, and it is slammed. And even though it's midday, it's super busy. But you're able to grab the 3 of you seats at the bar.
Nice.
What are you guys doing?
Is the bartender someone I recognize being from Haven?
No. So this is a new bartender. It looks like they are fairly new. But you're sitting there chatting for a minute, and then all of a sudden the old bartender comes out, and it looks like he is now running the place. Someone that you recognize. I can't remember the bartender's name because it's been that long. But yeah, you guys, because you used to play here, if I remember right. So
a little bit, yeah. So I'm gonna probably do the sub wave, right? Like I'm a sailor. It's not weird that I was gone for the better part of a year and now I'm back, right? Yeah, and then
Makes a lot of sense.
Probably with the new bartender, I'd probably be like, just like trying to start a casual conversation about like what's new, like what's new around town, right? After I introduce myself.
She kind of has the tilt of like a valley girl. So she is definitely not from Haven. And she gives you all of the dirt that you didn't want. Right. So it's not any of the important things that are happening with the people, with the bars or anything. It's all the gossip.
Right.
All the gossip. Who's fucking who's fucking someone behind the back, who's all of that shit. And it's fucking hilarious, right? Like, you have never been this plugged into the community in that way before, because it's not something that had ever happened, but she is totally locked in. Like, she is Haven's version of TMZ. She knows who's fucking who. She knows who's been giving jewelry to someone that they shouldn't, the roses that are flying. Oh my God. All that shit. And it is fucking, like, I can see like Skjald sitting there at the other, just kind of just sitting there, hand like this, and just
No, Skjald is fully engaged. Skjald is asking questions. He's keeping track of key players and storylines.
So you can make the conversation go longer to frustrate SOA.
No, Skjald just loves this kind of shit. Oh, Schadenfreude is like one of his things.
I don't
He's
think
super into it. He's like, fuck that guy. He shouldn't have been screwing around behind Becky's back. Tell me more. Like, he is into it.
And I don't think SOA is like particularly put out by this. She's just it's not what she was
looking for,
and it's not the kind of information she's used to being privy to.
Skjald goes, so as she like starts to wind down, Skjald is like, so do you get this kind of information every week?
I mean, when you go to Mr. Nancy's at the end of your shift, you just hear people because they've been drinking. Like,
okay.
Oh my God.
I've got an idea, and you tell me if I'm way off base. We could do a weekly periodical, okay? Called, and I'm just spitballing here. It could be like the actual girlfriends of Haven, or the true tramps of Haven. There's something in there. I'm not sure what it is. No, I know what it is. The Real Housewives of Haven. It even rolls right off your tongue.
It does.
It does.
Right there.
I'm getting there.
Okay. We are punishing John appropriately for this.
Is it though? It's Malort. He's the weirdo.
I know.
Give me that.
As this is happening, before I say this, SOA and Sid and Skjald, did you guys actually have any goals that you guys were trying to, or were you just trying to kill some time?
Makes it better.
Kill time.
Yeah, I think kill time. Right, like I'd like to get a feel of like what's going on in the city.
Yeah.
So this has been fine for that. But like, if nobody else shows up after we've been there for an hour or two, maybe we go to Mr. Nancy's and basically do the same thing.
I guess, does there look like there's oh my God, I wouldn't know this, but anyone that would be like a regular that kind of has a feel like potentially have a feel of what's happening in the city since we've been gone, like with all that new Asimir and Tieflings and the
roll a investigation check.
All right. I think that's
I would
flat 11.
I would also like to look.
If you're not talking about the game right now, let's tamp it down a little bit.
I would also like to look and see if there's anybody that looks like there's some kind of authority figure, whether that be like a guardsman of Haven or like muscle for a syndicate, or security staff for one of the warehouses. Somebody who looks like they, for a living, they tell people to get the fuck out of here. Somebody like that.
So go ahead and roll an investigation check as well. So what was yours, Sid?
11.
What was it?
11.
No, you're having a hard time because it does seem like, and the thing is, it's not like, if you guys remember when you first came into Haven, there was like there would be these weird patches where tourists would come in and they were trying to experience the rough and tumble ways of Haven. These are people who seem to be moving here, but they're all fairly new, right? Or they're transitioning through. They're not trying to stay. They're not trying to be a tourist. They don't feel like, he doesn't feel like the exploitative bit of the tourism that had been earlier when you guys were first here. So no, you're unable to find anybody. And then what was your skill?
7. Skeld is still too wrapped up in the idea of creating this periodical with a shit ton of gossip in it.
No.
What it is what happened is that you went in with this goal and then you started talking to Becky because that's
yeah, I'm like, look, man, like he's way too fast.
Becky with the good hair. She knows exactly what's going on.
Right.
You know, she
She's
like
got her finger on the pulse for what intrigues Skeld.
So you guys talk with her for a little bit, maybe about an hour and a half or so. You have a couple of drinks. There are new drinks on the menu, but they're not like frilly or anything like that. But they're obviously Becky has been brought in for this bit. Like she's utilizing the local rum in a way that has never really been utilized before, and so she does it. And then you guys go next to Mr. Nancy's, and there you sit down and. This bar is definitely less full. It's definitely fuller than it normally is, but it's a dive, right? It's essentially a shot and beer bar, and you get one choice of shot. It's the local rum, and then you get one type of beer. It's the equivalent of whatever Bud Light, Miller Lite that they have here, you know. And unless someone in the internet can remember the lore of Mr. Nancy's and can correct me, please do so in the Discord. But as you guys have sat down for you guys just get your order in for the drinks and like beer and shot. Sid, you feel a vibration in your pocket. It's the sending stone to Prosperin.
Okay.
You pull it out and you hear turn around.
Every
I turn.
now and then I get a little bit.
You turn around, and Prosper and Richter's daughter are standing right behind you.
Oh, fuck. Wait, is SOA actually there to talk to Prosperin for, God, the first fucking time ever? Holy fucking shit.
I was so excited that this was actually going to happen. Like, every time in this campaign that Prosperin has been introduced, Matt has not been here.
How is that possible?
I think I was maybe there once.
I don't know. I can't remember.
Missed her a lot though early on.
Yeah.
So Sid turns to
The
Prosperin.
adventure is there.
Prosperin,
Plateau.
so interesting to see you here. Like, what are you doing here?
Well, you posed a very interesting question. Let's come away from the bar. I have a table in the corner. And she leads the three of you. Can I get all of you to make a quick Constitution saving throw to see how fucked up you are? I have a feeling you guys are going to be fine. But
Do we get advantage for being sailors?
You're on land.
yes.
You're on land, though.
Everyone with Sid gets advantage because she's not a sailor.
Oh, thank God.
Wow,
5.
that was a thank God, too.
Nat 20 for 28.
I rolled a 4 and a 1.
Drink, motherfucker, drink, motherfucker, drink.
It makes it better.
Yeah, it's just the proper way to drink that drink.
By the way, pan and syrup or pan and shrub, 1-1-1-1, delicious, real easy. Sorry.
Okay, keep going. Okay, I got a 17.
Okay, surprisingly, the only one who got drunk fairly quick is SOA. She's not like because it's not like it wasn't like 4 hours of drinking. Like she's still coherent, but she stands up from the bar and she's like, "Whoa, wasn't ready for that." And the three of you follow Prosperin into the back corner as she sits down, and she somehow has ended up with a glass of sherry. Like you don't know how this has happened. She's sitting down, but she's in her waistcoat and her long jacket is off, and she wears short sleeves. And in her face, as you know, is it's split. It's white on the top, and then ebon black, and the rest of it. But you notice for the first time, you've never really paid attention. She usually wears gloves. She's not now. As the color of her skin changes from ebon to white again with her hands. So she has natural black fingernails as a tiefling, and she has all black eyes, and her antlers come straight up, and she wears a bolero hat that has been custom fit so her antlers can poke straight through. And she's got it riding fairly low, but it is the tropics, so it's fairly warm. So she sits down, and she looks and is like, "Where's everyone else?"
Out. They were supposed to meet us here. There. Here.
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 Here. They don't serve that here, and I point to the sherry.
I've been around a few times. I know people.
I used to fucking play here.
She looks at you, the young elf that you are, with this
Baby.
very upsetting to you, patronizing look, and says, "Child,
Ooh.
you know nothing."
Yeah.
Properly humbled, you look away. And-
Back into my cups.
Yep, Prosperin, L commissioned a building of a laboratory with the money we've been making. So he was going there to play around. I'm pretty sure Sark went with. Patrice, this is her home. I don't know where she went, but he went. Oh my god. Not Patricia, it's Patrice. And he, I don't know where he went. Seemed to have something he wanted to do.
Well, I would like to talk to all of you at one time. I'm going to finish my drink, but you need to tell me some place to meet you all, and we 7 are going to have a conversation. You guys are in trouble. I know you guys seem to think that when I show up, but y'all have fucked with forces that are beyond your ken. And I think it's time we have a much deeper conversation.
That makes it sound like we are actually in trouble.
Well, we, the royal we, Liberorf, the material plane, we are in trouble.
Oh shit.
Not y'all.
Because the shit we did?
I don't know if it's the shit you did, but it's tied into the shit you found.
How much of this?
I swear to shut up again.
I did with her.
If I'm gonna roll a 4 on a con save to be drunk, I'm gonna lean into it.
You might as
I'm
well.
sorry.
You might as well.
It's fair. I'm more like, Sark's not there. You like, all right, we'll make punching. Or wait, is this because I punched
The
the
question that you asked, Sid,
Yeah. Thank you for that.
got me looking into some things. As much as I am interested in you finding the Ravenhold Institute, I think it would really be helpful for where we're going. At this point, there are other things. I need to talk to your mechanical friend. I need to.
They're punching pigs.
Well, I mean, that's the best way to find out how to best punch a human.
It's also how we determine how many Sarks it takes to, destroy various different kinds of things, and more specifically, how many Sarks it takes to punch through a human body, which we can then use to extrapolate how many Sarks it would take to punch through a god.
One Sark.
Both relevant and irrelevant at this particular moment. But
what you're talking about, it might become real relevant.
But the point is, we need to have a conversation.
Well, we'll grab everybody and let's meet you back here, or do you have another place in mind?
I'd rather someplace private. Your friend's warehouse sounds perfect.
Okay.
Is it that new Tinkermerian building?
Yeah, that's it.
It kind of stands out.
So does Elle.
Fair.
This is funny.
He's a little guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's tall, but no.
She throws back her her sherry, and you didn't realize that there was 3 shot glasses right there next to it, and she just crushes them like it's nothing. See you in a bit. And she just gets up and, surprisingly for someone who just slammed that much booze, walks out very gracefully. But it's not like a very feminine grace. So she's kind of mask presenting as a woman, but she carries herself very well in a very don't fuck with me way. But at the same time, it's very elegant in the way that she does it. You know, as I just started Legends of Vox Machina. I'm thinking of like kind of like Percy, like that kind of like effeminate masculine, but maybe flipped around kind of thing as she's walking, and that's kind of how she is. And the door opens, the daylight comes in, and the 3 of you sit there. What are y'all doing?
I turn to Becky immediately.
Becky's not there anymore.
At a different bar.
Oh, we're at a different bar. Fuck, I forgot. I'm sorry. I was trying to put my build into the Discord. Is there anybody who looks vaguely similar to Becky in demeanor?
Oh, God, no.
I feel like Skald would still like turn to Becky and be like,
Yeah, honestly, Skald turns to the bartender. Doesn't matter the gender presentation, does it? And he's just like, Becky, right? And also, Skald is patently not drunk. He is stone cold sober. 28 on con.
Yeah, so it's an old human man with a beard down to his belly.
Yeah.
Like think like biker bar kind of bartender.
So Skald turns to this gruff abyssal angel, and yeah, you get it. And he goes, Becky, right? Okay, do you know any gossip or rumors about that one? Because that would make this periodical really sell.
I wouldn't fuck with that one, he says in a very gruff voice.
You know, Becky, you've got a good point. I'll take a shot of whiskey, then we're going to get the hell out of here.
You'll take a shot of rum and like it.
You're correct, I will. And like Skald doesn't take it as threatening at all. Skald's just like, no, you're right. That sounds delicious.
It wasn't made as a threat.
Yeah. Like Skald acknowledges it as such. He's just like, yeah, that's correct. You're right. Yeah. This is objectively empirically correct.
Patrice, I need you to roll a D100 for me, please.
That's a 10.
Shit.
Am I speaking to God? Is that what's happening?
No, I gave you a range of 35 to 75 to hit, so you could just randomly run into these guys as they step outside the bar.
God damn it.
We're never gonna find Patrice again. Curtis, roll a new character.
Roll a new character, Curtis.
We just lost Patrice.
That's funny.
Locate assholes. We need that spell.
We definitely need to make that spell for this table.
SOA is too drunk to think about that people are supposed to meet them here.
They weren't.
They were supposed to meet you at the Badge and the Bottle where you first
Nope.
went to Edwards. Well, we said Edwards, and then while Patrice was still there, you guys said you didn't need to go to Edwards, right?
Yeah, so he's like, I'm gonna go drinking. I don't need to go to the tobacco shop. You all have tobacco.
I mean, you're not wrong.
I feel like Patrice was there for knowing that they're at a bar.
Okay, I will give you that then.
But he doesn't know which one. Obviously, because they went to a second bar.
Of the 6 in Haven.
Maybe there's a 7th now. This might be a new bar.
Sid is like looking around for Patrice, like kind of like as we leave.
Perception check, please.
I'm trying so hard. Yeah, it's like 19.
Heyo.
That's higher. It's 22, 21.
You watch as Patrice steps out of the Badge and Bottle and kind of shades his eyes as it's bright, and he's like, kind of throws his hands up. He's like,
Hey, Patrice!
You catch that, Patrice, and
I clock Sid, and I see that Sid is looking for me, and SOA is just kind of aimlessly shuffling, looking for the next beverage, and Skald is pointing in different directions, trying to get them. Like I think over there. I think that's a good place to get fucked up.
Right, pretty much.
Like,
at this point, this is after the conversation with Prosper.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, Scald's probably still looking for another place to drink.
So what time is it? No.
Well, it was only she only gave you about 20, 30 minutes before.
Oh, okay. So we gotta head over.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. So we head towards the
Warehouse.
The warehouse.
Wow. Where they punch
Retrofitted
pigs.
warehouse.
The men who punch pigs.
We all the men who punch
So as the
It's a little different than
the four of you,
Can we get off these still?
Yes.
Okay.
you were walking up, you passed Driftwood, and the delectable scents hit you, and you're like, oh, that smells amazing. And then you walk towards it. Essentially, Driftwood is Bistro 317 in Haven, guys. Just for those of you who've been there. That's the quality of food.
Yeah. Fucking delightful.
As you were walking towards the warehouse, because it's kind of was always kind of off on its own, and it was set apart from everything. You see Sark right before he heads back down to the main layer from the layer, the main floor.
I was gonna say layer.
My brain has had
so much more evil. Later, abode, whatever.
I have had so much fantasy content in my brain the last week because I've needed to escape from school, and it's just like Vox Machina, 2 D&D games, couple of books. I'm like, layer is natural at this point.
I mean, I was only like 2 inventions away from it being a layer.
You're not wrong. You're not
Especially
wrong.
with Sark currently not in a mood to be mortal.
Yeah, that's fair.
So the 4 of you come up to the door. Prosperin is not there, but the door doesn't open. There's no handle. There's a keypad.
Oh, jeez.
There is also. Go ahead.
I'm out of ideas.
I feel like Sark would be on the roof and hear this and just like look over and watch. Like he's not gonna help or not do anything. He's just gonna peer over the roof and look at these 4 individuals.
Jeez, I'm trying to solve this.
Prosperin is already in.
Please tune in 2 sessions from now when we figure out how to get past the door.
Are there windows?
The 2 people are already inside of
Are there windows?
L, would there be windows?
I don't think so.
If they are, they're the like
Blast windows?
Yeah.
basically they're like top of the wall, like 4 inches wide, like
Yeah, they're so that it doesn't become a pressure bomb.
Yeah.
The glass can be blown out and depressurize the building. if
There's,
something
It
goes
doesn't
wrong.
even matter.
I can see
I don't even need to
skylights.
see it. Patrice casts Fairy Fire at about where he thinks the middle of the building is. And the entire inside lights up into violet purple sparkles. And he hears a banging at the door.
Just wow.
I ain't waiting around.
There's a goddamn doorbell.
Hold on.
Yeah, and that's what it does now. Every time I ring that doorbell, I'm going to cast Fairy Fire.
Can somebody-
L's never used it. He doesn't know.
Can somebody give me a boost so I can look in through the window?
I got you.
Okay, I cast Dance Macabre on 5 of the pigs.
And then live.
I don't know if there's pigs in there right now.
There's only.
Well, they
Sark's gonna watch
dead
this
pigs.
like
I need dead pigs.
watch the
there
like
aren't any.
there's
We
no
just got
horses.
here.
Oh, okay.
like the
Tower
tower form.
gone for years.
I think it was
You were there for a
pre-stocked with
few
pigs.
hours.
Man,
They were there for a few hours.
the warehouse was
In a new
pre-stocked with
lab.
pigs.
All right. There's no corpses in this building.
We probably only made it halfway through the lab so far.
Hang on.
I find it hard to believe there's 0 corpses, but okay.
Sark's gonna watch the tower get built.
There is a corpse, but it's like cemented into like a concrete foundation, and we know nothing
We
about
know nothing
that.
about it.
Until we cast Raise Dead, and that's gonna be one angry corpse trying to get through the concrete.
Just hear moaning coming from it.
Now we're going after the mob with our new zombie friend.
It's the telltale pig.
I was like, which one of these secret compartments is the pig locker?
Right, exactly.
The pig locker is a good name.
That's
for
a good name.
beverage.
Actually, I think that's
Oh,
just the
man.
name of the hideout, the pig locker.
We did it. We did it,
We
guys.
named the
Good job,
hideout.
guys. We win.
Okay, that's enough.
Sark's gonna watch the tower get built and then drop right in front of the door and then turn around and ring the doorbell.
And Skeld looks over on Patrice's shoulders at Esway and goes, "That's how you do that." And then hop down.
So, Elle, what you hear is kind of like a mournful bell, like that kind of
Moaning bell.
Yes.
mournful.
I prefer moaning.
Stop. Just stop.
I wasn't the one that said.
And it's just kind of that like deep church bell, that kind of that not quite gong, but that's that deep sound, and you know that someone is at the door. And at this moment, you are by yourself.
And covered in purple.
Potentially.
Probably has to put a few things away before he actually walks over to the door because he's still exploring everything.
Mm-hmm.
So it takes longer than you probably think it should have after somebody rings the doorbell, but right about the time when you're starting to get a little frustrated and I'm going to ring it again, the door opens.
Well, what happened too is that like Elle was super focused on what he was doing. Fairy Fire had no effect on him, so like he wasn't even paying attention. And he turns around and he goes, "Huh."
Yeah.
I feel like I got a pretty good feel on Elle's.
That's something that happens when the doorbell rings.
Yeah.
It's a possibility.
Right. He's not ruling it out.
Yeah.
As Elle walks up, the 5 of you watch as the gears and the mechanisms turn and the door slides open. So Elle, you would have hit. There's a button that opens the door for him.
I assume so. Or a lever or something.
The 5 of you guys walk in. What are you guys doing?
Was this one of you? Or was that the doorbell?
Probably the doorbell.
That's the door.
Sark swats the back of Patrice's head because he watched him cast the spell.
Probably.
You should drop it.
Drop what? Concentration?
You're just gonna like motions at the like purple and goes, "Do you want me to test how well you can concentrate?"
Oh.
And then
Curtis does, Patrice does not.
Sticks his
Curtis
hands in
is
his
like
pockets.
he's got some high expectations for Patrice to hold concentration while he's getting hit with advantage. But he's not gonna test that. He's just gonna kind of like slump his shoulders and it'll peter out.
Oh, so Sark's not his friend anymore.
Oh. I really should figure out how to make the doorbell do that. That was useful.
There's probably a way to do that. I believe in you.
Probably.
There's probably a less magical way to make the same effect.
A glyph of glitter bomb.
No glitter.
Well, I mean, it is ephemeral, whatever this was. Yeah.
No glitter.
What do school janitors hate?
Microplastics.
Continue.
Sark's just gonna then be like, "Wait, why are you all here? I thought you were going drinking. It usually takes longer."
We were drinking. She's coming here.
Who's she?
Prospering.
Oh.
Huh.
Good thing you
That's
haven't
helpful.
had a chance to like make this place a mess yet. It's still presentable.
I haven't finished looking at everything yet.
I know.
Why is Prosperin here?
I
know you borrowed the sending stone.
Yeah, I
but
messaged
why?
her. Oh, I do not remember what I even told her anymore.
You asked about
The shadow?
so you guys had talked about there was a rumor of a space called the Desolation from right around where you're from. And the rumor was that there was a group of people who had been explorers in the area of the Nicodaic Expanse, and they had explored the Desolation and found what seemed to be the ruins of a floating city. And so you were asking about either if there was a way to get there or if there were other places or other things like that.
Gotcha. Oh my god. Thank you, Morgan. That feels like 2 months ago. Probably wasn't.
It was it was a month ago.
Yeah, it was a month ago.
At least. All right.
That is why the best part about having a podcast is you can watch it again.
That does help a lot.
What I did while setting
It's amazing. Okay.
I could put
So I relay that information to Sark and L about messaging Prosperin and about the desolation and the rumor of the falling city, and that it sounds eerily familiar in some ways to what Sark saw through the dude.
Sark has that
Tamir.
ADHD moment of, oh shit, I remember something, and walks over to the desk and writes to the manager of, where was my sarcophagus found?
Very good.
And then goes back to waiting on everyone else. Very ADHD, oh right, thing, and then comes back to the.
L, is
conversation.
there a good place in here, like a table or a conference room or something, where we can?
I was just gonna turn around and look at the giant table that's in the room. I'm gonna turn around, look at it, and go, nope.
We probably would see it if Patrice was still concentrating on Fairy Fire. Then we would have noticed that table.
Sark's gonna bump into SOA just hard enough to test her balance.
Arcane noticement.
Dude, should I roll for this?
Sorry, I had a message that I had to read because it actually related to the game. What were you asking?
Sark's bumping into SOA just hard enough to test her balance.
Yes, go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw with disadvantage.
Yeah, you don't need to pick one now. You just roll both. Both are bad.
It's 13.
Yeah, still the alcohol things happening.
So you don't fall on your ass, but you do hip check one of the tables on the one of the workbenches.
I like a hit pointer. Oh, that sucks.
There's plenty of tables in here.
If there's chairs, Sid's gonna sit in one.
I feel like there's rolly stools.
L.
There's probably pretty solid chairs around the table. A few of them, but everywhere around the outside, workbenches, yeah, it's all shop stools.
Yeah. And these aren't low tables. They're tall tables that you would find in a lab or in a workspace or something like that.
They are low tables for everyone but L.
No, they wouldn't be low for L.
No.
No, low for everybody else because L's a gnome.
Yeah, L's
No, because that has been factored in. They created it for a space, but there's things that the parts of the floor can raise up for your small people.
Nice.
Neat.
It's like a standing desk, but
Yeah.
That's what
But-
it's
Raise the floor up.
Yeah.
Desk
Table.
up, yeah.
If she's looking for the most comfortable place to sit right now, and that's probably one of those chairs.
Mm-hmm.
L, did your warehouse get pre-stocked with pigs and or booze?
Not that I've found.
Okay.
Pretty sure there's no pigs because we've been gone for a year.
Patrice pulls out a bottle of wine, looks for some beakers or something to serve it in, and spreads it around the table and says, "It's a successful voyage."
Hang on a second. Yeah.
Are they clean beakers? Does mine have sodium hydroxide in it? What the hell?
And Curtis is really good.
Right.
Ingesting bleach is not good. Yeah. Salute.
As you guys are raising your glasses, the doorbell goes off.
I'm sure.
I cast Fairy Fire.
I was gonna say, Ellen and I are gonna look up at the ceiling and wait.
Right. Oh my god. It's too good.
With subtlety. We're using a sorcery point for subtle spell, so he doesn't know I casted it.
That's good, because Sark was halfway out of the corner of his eye, like,
I love it. I love it.
wait, what? Sark is now confused. Wasn't before, is now confused.
Yes.
Yeah. Elle hasn't noticed the fairy fire again. And he's just gonna go open the door for Prosperin.
The door. Yep. As the door opens, Prosperin walks in and says, "My friends, let's talk." And that's where we're going to leave off for this session.
Nice.
And we will continue here in 2 weeks, and we will talk about things. Things are happening, my friends. Thank you so much, as always, for joining us on this adventure of cooperative storytelling. As always, if you want to engage with us in a more interactive way, please click all the links below. Point. This is also the point of the video/podcast where I ask you to do things like subscribe, hit the notification button. That actually matters, as we have recently found out after all of you guys have checked out all of the YouTube things. Thank you so much for that as well. Again, I can't thank you guys enough for those of you who we met at Comic-Con, those of us. It's so awesome. We really appreciate everything that you guys have done. With that, all that being said, until next time, y'all, drink well.
I like the shot glass.